guys, Granitor Prepper right here. Today we're going to be going over this setup that we built for one of my good friends that we were in the Marine Corps with. So ever since me and my buddies got out of the Marine Corps, we've gotten a lot more into the tactical realm, going out to shoot in the desert, stuff like that, or going out to the gun range. Recently, I've only been getting into the desert, is what I meant to say, but you know, uh, one of our buddies though, he's been hiking with us on a few trips, and he doesn't really have a plate carrier setup, or usually he has to borrow some of our gear to go with us. And me and my buddy, we figured that we'd just built one out for him as a cool little gift. So what I decided to go for as a base is the LAPG Atlas plate carrier, LA Police Gear. It's a really solid setup. There's very few plate carriers that I would say are a bang for your buck, where not only do you get a really good price, but you also get awesome features. And honestly, I think that this, I can confidently say, is the best one. Every bit of that dollar spent really feels worth it. To start off with, you can obviously tell that it's laser cut molle. And one cool thing about what they did with this laser cut molle setup is that the way they did it is really nice. They they reinforce the stitching in between each row of molle, as opposed to other systems I've seen where there's not even this reinforcement of stitching, where it's not even there. So say if it were to fail on some focal point, the the whole system would basically slowly fall apart because there's no structural integrity. You don't even have to worry about comfort or getting padding for this plate carrier, because it's already built into it. This padding right here, really nice. Um, there's even built-in padding into the. It's kind of hard to show you, but there's actually a whole padding system right here that is really nice and soft or whatever. You do not have to worry about getting side sappy pouches to put in side armor, because it's already built into the plate carrier itself. Yeah, so it's already ready for you to put side armor if you feel like you want to up armor this thing. Or even if you don't want to use it, it's not. I tried it on. It's not intrusive at all. It doesn't feel like you got this big pouch. It's getting in the way of your lonjas or whatever. Yeah, that's a really awesome feature. Oh, I almost forgot. I will say a few negative things about this plate carrier that I'm not a big fan of, and it's this thing that they did. It's like they did the same thing with the Condor Cyclone plate carrier. I'll show a video. I'm gonna do a video on the Cyclone plate carrier later. That was one of my very first plate carriers, and I still have it. That's also a really good solid plate carrier for what you get to. But not every plate carrier is perfect, and this is the one thing that I'm not a big fan of. So they put this underflap pouch on the plate carrier itself to. I understand the logic that they were going for, because to be fair, it's just extra reinforcement just to hold up that plate in there. But here here's where I think it's a bit it's just a repetitive feature, because why would you need that when there's already a bunch of yeah, okay, so now you see I have it on, right? So now that little flap is just kind of dangling, right? And to literally secure it, I have to no shit get really under there to you know basically stick it on that Velcro. And it's not a big deal, but the thing that's kind of annoying is that sometimes it's not perfect, and then you get this little clump that's just pressing up against your abdomen region. And it's not the biggest deal in the world, but this is where, whether it's not the comfortability, this is where it gets kind of annoying. Now if you want to say take the plate carrier off, you have to do one of these. You have to really dig up in there, and then boom, now you can take it off. Not really a big deal in my opinion. It's just I'm just going over some of the very limited negatives of this plate carrier, because overall this thing is super great. But that is one feature I felt like I needed to talk about that maybe someone might find annoying. In my opinion, it's It's not a super big deal. I mean, if anything, you could just cut this off if you really wanted to, but only downside is, you cut it off and you kind of lose the value of the plate carrier because then reselling it will be a bit difficult. So that's just stuff that you have to consider. That you can obviously take it off, but just consider that if you ever do decide that maybe you want to like sell this thing or I don't know, give it to someone else that might have wanted that feature, I didn't take these off, but you can take these off if you want to. But this is to turn the plate carrier into a minimalistic base plate carrier. So you could take off these cummerbunds, take it off, and just run it like this. Obviously, I don't know if anybody... Actually, no, that's still plenty of room, yeah. But you can run it like this to where there's no side cummerbunds all. So it becomes a very nice minimalistic plate carrier if you wanted to run it that way. If you're not gonna run it that way, I wouldn't have these dangling there because then you have like these annoying Velcros dangling there. You can remove these, as you can see. So yeah, I got Krydex, Krydex panels. So this is a 3-cell panel, and this I want to say typically goes for around 15 bucks online, and it's just you can tell it's a very like bare bones like panel. It's literally just to hold mags or other things that, like a smoke grenade or something, or you could even like hold the radio patch if you really wanted to. It's, elastic, so it's very stretchy, so, you have a lot of room of what you can fit in here. You can either fit like AR mags, you could fit AK mags in here even. I'm pretty sure you could try fitting 308 if you wanted to, but I'm not too sure about that one. Yeah, and it's just a really simple like elastic setup, nothing special, just something that he can start off with using, just the bare bones minimum instead of like if I were to have just gotten him like an overly pricey mag pouch setup and bare bones setup that he can just get used to, just train with or whatever, and then whenever he does decide to move on to that more high quality Gucci gear or whatever, he will definitely like appreciate it a lot more and see like, oh wow, like this is way better than what I originally had. Oh, and then this is the 2-cell setup I was talking about. I don't have a mag pouch in here, but you could put a radio pouch if you wanted here. And then right here, nothing crazy, just a simple Condor dump pouch, just a small dump pouch. A lot of this is pouches that I just had lying around, and I was like, well, I'm not using these, so I might as well like give them a brand new life, And I had this like black mag pouch that I just was not using for anything at all, and I was like, oh, but it doesn't match or whatever, and I'm like, well, rather than just buy a whole nother Ranger Green mag pouch, I could just spray paint over it, and it matches the plate carrier a little bit better. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing, obviously, to some people, but I mean, it's not really about the looks, it's about the functionality here. This is so you can either hold like 2 more mags or whatever else he might feel like he wants to hold. I mean, maybe you could use it as a tourniquet holder, makeshift tourniquet holder. And this right here is, I think some of Army guys might recognize this a little bit, but this is just a very cheap mag pouch that I think the Army still issues these, but instead of having it in ACU, they have it in multicam now. Or, no, the Army doesn't call it multicam. I think it's called Scorpion Camo or something like that. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I'm probably just going to tell my friend that he should use this as radio pouch or an IFAK pouch. But, yeah. You can still see remnants of the... I think you can still see remnants of the Army ACU in there a little bit. It's kind of funny. You get a very like generous amount of Velcro right here, the soft part. And the cool thing about that is that you could put cool Velcro patches on here. I don't know. I mean, you can put whatever Velcro patches you want. But that's like, yeah. Or if you want, you could just put it is Molle. So if you wanted to, you could just put another pouch right here if you really wanted to. I know some guys, they like doing that. There's plenty of Molle here. You could hang a hydration pouch here if you wanted to. You could hang a plate carrier pack if you want to here too. I'm not a big fan of plate carrier packs because I feel like they kind of make your plate carrier a little bit too bulky. Um, Also, I kind of prefer just having my pack separately from my plate carrier. That way, if I really need to get something out of my pack, I don't have to like have someone grab it for me because it's mollied onto my back plate. Instead, I could just simply take off my pack and just get to my stuff that way. But everyone has their own like needs and like how they do things. Like what I may do may not work for you. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. Like I'm not saying that like, oh, this is the way you have to set it up. This is just how I do it. The cool thing about this giant candle is that there's Velcro. So instead of like having it like, hanging out or dangling sometimes and maybe it can get caught onto something, you can like simply Velcro it onto here and it like stays on there perfectly. This is a really good drag candle too because you can see that they did a really good job on like stitching it into the plate carrier. Like this thing is definitely not ripping off too easily anytime soon. But yeah. Lastly, we're going to be going over the tactical belt that I made. A lot of this is also just made with like pouches I just had lying around in my junk box that I wasn't using anymore. Not saying that they're like bad gear. It's just just gear that I kind of grew out of. Or a lot of this is gear that I bought while I was still in the Marine Corps. This is basically just a mag pouch panel. This is supposed to actually be meant for a plate carrier, but instead of just putting it on here, I decided to like repurpose it and actually just use it as a makeshift mag pouch for a belt. And it's not the most perfect thing in the world. Like it still slides a bit. It gets the job done. You can hold 3 mags right here. You could also hold 3 pistol mag pouches if you really wanted to. It doesn't just have to be used for pistol mag pouches. They have plenty of room to where you can fit other things. Like you can fit a multi-tool in here. You don't have to use this for mag pouches. Multi-tool right there. You could fit, a knife in there if you really wanted to. And you can even fit a flashlight. I don't have a flashlight on me right now, so. Then right here, we got a very like large dump pouch. I know you're probably wondering like, oh, like this is kind of repetitive. Why did this guy like put a dump pouch on the belt and why did he put a dump pouch on the plate carrier? Keep in mind, what I may do may not work for you. So I'm not saying that you have to do this, but my philosophy when it comes to having 2 dump pouches, one on the plate carrier or like on the chest rig and then also on the belt is that the more dump pouches that you have, the less likely you're gonna lose shit. This pouch does not just have to be for mags. If you're going on an excursion where you think you might need other stuff than just mags, you could use it to hold other stuff like maybe food, water, or you're going hiking with your buddies. You could put like an extra Nalgene of water in there. Just this thing does not have to be limited to just being a dump pouch for mags. It's a lot more than that. Your system should be able to be used by itself. Like I should be able to put this plate carrier on, and I should not have to worry too much about having a way to retain mags. Like I should not have to rely on my war belt to have to use a dump pouch. Is what I'm saying. Definitely a very generous dump pouch. You can fit like a ton of mags in here that have been expended, or you could even fit other stuff. Like I said earlier. Razer Walker headphones or anything like that. Affordable IFAK that he can use. I don't have like any medical equipment in there, but he can decide to choose what he's gonna get. Then lastly, we got a very like cheap, very simple holster. You'll definitely have to upgrade eventually, but the reason why I bought this is because it's cheap, just something that he can like train with. At least have something to hold a pistol. I think I got this at Big Five for like $8, so it was definitely like really on the affordable side. And I tried like different pistols in it, and it definitely holds like a pretty wide range of handguns. This video is basically just going over what you can build on a budget that is fairly low, but not like too low. I'll do more like even lower budget setups in the future when it comes to plate carriers if you guys want. But for now, this is a fairly affordable setup that I think most people could like build out. Out of everything here, the 2 things that are the most expensive, and this is my philosophy with it, is that the you should not cheap out too much on the plate carrier, and you should not cheap out too much on the belt. The reason why I'm gonna explain that is because these are basically like the basis of everything, you know? That is the whole base of your setup. So you don't want like the base to be the most cheapest part of your whole setup, you know? Because it's a lot more annoying if the base itself gets compromised, as to like if say just one of these pouches gets compromised, or like it tears or rips, because like a lot of the pouches can be easily replaced, but the plate carrier is a lot more of a pain in the ass to have to replace, essentially. So yeah, just go with that in mind. You know, think about budget wise, but also think about like, okay, where should I be putting my money more into? And I think you guys should be putting it more into, you know, the overall like plate carrier itself and the belt, which are your two bases. But yeah. All right. See you guys in the next video. I hope you guys liked it. Yeah.